926. I wanted to clear the airwaves for Kevin McCullough. Kevin's a great broadcaster on our sister station, WMCA, and 5 o'clock right here on AM 970. The Answer. Kind enough to join us this morning. Mr. McCullough, well, and you're, but with the greatest of respect, your wife, man, beautiful, beautiful gal.
Thank you. Yeah.
She's
blind.
Huh?
She's blind. She's legally blind, but I'm not.
People always go, I would walk in with Kimberly, what is she doing with him?
Well, after a while, Joe, I mean, it's, and let's just be real honest.
No, with respect,
let's
man.
just,
Great
let's just be real honest.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Any man on planet Earth usually outkicks their coverage.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, because
They
generally
try.
speaking, we're always marrying better people than we are.
We're trying. I wrote the song at my wedding.
You happen to find some of the toughest cases. But aside from that, I think you know, like take Morano and his beloved. Like
great
again,
gal.
Rachel
Great
must
gal.
be blind, partially impaired in some way.
He's
but,
coming in.
Yeah, I know.
You know what though? When I sang, did I tell you? If I tell Morano this, he'll ride me about this forever. Is that I sang this song? I wrote a song, an original song for Kimberly at my wedding, and it was called "What Is She Doing with Me?" And it was a great. And I wrote the song more nervous about anything else. I put
Do
her.
you have it in your archive somewhere? I'd love to hear a copy of that.
You ain't gonna ever see it, my
Come
brother.
on.
No, God, no. Give it outside of the house.
I love to collect these like independent recordings that are like one.
Frankie's like the Fred Norris of the show, you know, where he'll kind of live that. But you know what? I wrote it, and there is a recording of it somewhere. And
you did offer to sing it at my wedding, so that's the song I'm going to ask you to sing. You said you'll sing whatever song we wanted, so that's it.
What she's doing with me. I tell you, it was a great song. And then I walked Kimberly out at the what was the name of this beautiful place we went to? And that cost me way too much money. And so I put her right in the middle of the dance floor. She was in this white gown, and I sat her in the chair and I sang to her. It didn't work. We still got divorced.
Trouble from moment one.
Geraldo was there, and Geraldo told me years later, we knew it was done. As soon as you started singing, Joe, Geraldo goes, I knew it was over.
No, but you know what's amazing, Joe, is that you have really good friendships, it seems like, with most of your exes.
Yeah, and now
that's
do.
admirable.
You do. You settle down.
I mean, when you have 70, 80 kids like you do, it's good to be friends with all the moms because
I have to be.
Then you got to make life easier otherher.
I'm just going to keep working, my brother. I'm just going to keep working. So everybody's
hardest working man in radio.
Well, the way to keep peace, you know, just keep whatever they need. Yeah. You just shovel it over there. Hey, listen, Kevin McCullough, 928 with Joe and Kevin on the radio. So I don't want to be dramatic, and I know I'm conservative, but you're a pure conservative, and you're great with Harris on Fox News, by the way.
Thank you.
I enjoy those shots all the time, and you're always so good. You can't argue with this guy, with Kevin McCullough, because he always has the great points. So
Frank Morano again would disagree with you, but aside from that,
so no. So listen. So now, what I feel in my heart, I'm so in love with this country. I'm so proud of the red, white, and blue. You noticed the cufflinks,
right,
George? And I forgot I put these cufflinks on just to match the red, white, and blue tie. Can you see those? Yeah, I got the American flag cufflinks, you know. And I just the country, and it's not just a thing. When I salute the flag, it's not just a thing. It's even when we went to this little event down there at the Christian Brothers Academy on a Sunday, I stopped on the way to church on the way to the ball game with Charlie, and then there was an honor guard from the Middletown Police Department, and it was like two guys, one with a rifle, one with the flag, and we saluted, as we should in this country. And I feel the same way about my faith. I don't care what you are. I don't care what your lifestyle is, what your religion is you are welcome to celebrate that. But when you have people in the United States House of Representatives that just tell us constantly we're racist, we're wrong, we're old, we're privileged, and they come from another country that we have spent, what, Kevin, trillions of dollars on? Walk us through what the whole rally that you had against Ilhan Omar.
Sure.
And then what happened and how we got to where we are, sir.
Well, the interesting thing about yesterday's event is they only had about 5 or 6 days to put it together, but they got about 2,000 people by the time it was done last night to Times Square. There were about 200 protesters on the other side of the street, and I was one of the speakers. But the interesting thing about this, and I said this in my talk yesterday, is that these people, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, obviously Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and Linda Sarsour, they kind of all hang in a pack. And they always are kind of having the same traits come out in their public comments. They almost always side against America. They almost always side with whoever we're in opposition to. So, for instance, Tlaib and Omar have both argued to U.S. judges for leniency on ISIS fighters. They've actually tried to make us go easy on people that were trying to kill us.
And
they've advocated on behalf of the Muslim Brotherhood. There's been a ton of things that they've said about our posture with Iran right now that runs right against what our goals and agenda should be for that region. So you just get tired of hearing all of this stuff, and they take the side of illegal immigrants over American citizens. They take the side of
Venezuela.
Almost any global. Yeah, Omar spoke openly, sort of AOC, in favor of Maduro, who's a thug. He's killing his own people. I mean, so you've got this kind of general mindset, and I think what kind of pulled this coalition together was. It was started by mostly people that are very pro-Israel. So we support our best ally in the world. And it didn't matter if you were Christian or Jewish or whoever. If you were willing to come together around that kind of concept, we got together yesterday. Big thanks and shout out to Laura Ingraham for giving us a big piece of her show last night. She did a nice coverage on that.
She covered it great.
But it is something that needs to be considered. So our only question was, Nancy Pelosi, will you consider removing this anti-American from the Foreign Affairs Committee? The voters have their choice to throw her out in 2020. That's going to be the people of, the recent immigrants from Somalia's choice that live in her district. But that's for the voters to decide. But in terms of what Nancy Pelosi does, that affects all the country, and it would be really appropriate to remove her from the Foreign Affairs Committee. Yeah. You were talking about these districts, by the way, before I came on. A lot of people don't know this. The reason that Omar really became such a powerhouse in Minnesota was because under the Obama administration, he didn't just take Somali refugees. He put them specifically, allowed them to be specifically relocated in that congressional district. That district has been moving in this direction for a long time.
So that wasn't the governor of Minnesota that did it, or was it an Obama directive?
It was the federal government set the directive on where the refugees went. But I've spoken with people that were involved in this, and they said there was great pressure put on to make sure that those 70,000 got into that seat. That's a seat that shouldn't have gone Democrat, much less extremist. And it only did in recent times because of the population shift.
What was the end game of President Obama?
I have no idea.
Yeah,
just an interesting tidbit I thought I'd throw out.
And that's why that's how Omar got elected.
And it's probably how she'll get reelected.
And why don't they? If, like, for example, with Tlaib, what's happening in Michigan with the water in Flint, in Michigan, all the problems. Now General Motors moving out. They don't mention one thing that's going to help the workers. It's always on the outside. They're doing more. And correct. And maybe this is wool being pulled over my eyes. I'm not quite sure. It seems like Ilhan Omar and Rashida Tlaib are speaking at care benefits more than helping the people in their districts.
No, there's no doubt about that. But it's like Congressman Zeldin said on my show yesterday. He said the problem here is that you have people that are fundamentally out of step with where most of America is. And they are taking down what has been a great political party.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I'm not a Democrat. I'm probably never going to vote for a Democrat. But I would be sad if the Democratic Party what happens to them here is what happened to the Labor Party in England, where they got taken over and then a different agenda came in. And so Pelosi and Hoyer and all those guys are up against a very tough,
useful idiots,
incoming freshman crowd that has gotten a big megaphone and is not afraid to use it.
Yeah, that's very true. Kevin, thank you very much. 877-970-2999. 5 o'clock today, my friend?
5 o'clock. We're on top of everything that's breaking down today, and we'll see what it is.
All right, my friend. Keep up the great work, Kevin, and love to the family indeed. Kevin McCullough right there, 5.